What's up everybody, I'm Stella Chung and this is the Weekly Fix, the show where we round up all the gaming and entertainment headlines you may have missed this week. September's PlayStation Plus games have been announced, plus the PS5 itself is getting a price increase in several countries, and we go into why. In the entertainment world, the Resident Evil Netflix series has been cancelled, and Rian Johnson has stated he is more than proud of The Last Jedi 5 years after he directed it. Hope you're staying cool out there, and let's jump right into it.
The lineup for September's PlayStation Plus monthly games have been announced, and each tier is getting some really nice gems. Those with a PlayStation Plus Essential tier subscription can expect some high-speed thrills of epic proportions, with the larger-than-life racing game Need for Speed Heat and the 2D action fighting game Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, which are coming to PlayStation 4 on September 6th. The delightful black and white magical adventure game Tome also hits the service the same day for PlayStation 5. On September 20th, Deathloop is getting released on PlayStation 5 for PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium subscribers.
Be sure to check out Arcane's time loop first-person shooter that we gave a 10 in 2021.
Also coming for PlayStation 5 and 4 is the oddly titled Supercross racing sim Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game 5, and Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX. PlayStation 4 owners will soon be able to explore ancient Egypt in the open-world action RPG Assassin's Creed Origins. If history games aren't your jam, see if you have what it takes to bring down the corporate corruption plaguing San Francisco Bay in Watch Dogs 2. Dragon Ball's action RPG brawler Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is also coming to the service. Take colors to new heights using magical painting powers to solve puzzles in Chicory: A Colorful Tale. If you're a big Scott Pilgrim fan and dig 2D beat-em-ups, you'll be able to jump back into the cult classic game based on the iconic book and movie Scott Pilgrim vs. the World: The Game Complete Edition. Classics coming to PlayStation Plus Premium subscribers on September 20th are PlayStation 3's The Sly Collection, Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, and Bentley's Hack Pack. And for those who want to go down memory lane, prepare for PSP Toy Story 3 and Kingdom of Paradise to also join the list. Last but not least, become Gabe Logan again in PlayStation 1's Siphon Filter. It's so nice to get some classic games for once, but don't forget about Yakuza Like a Dragon, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, and Little Nightmares leaving the service come September 5th. Moving on, Konami is about to reveal an unknown game set in a, quote, world-loved franchise, and while many are hoping for a new Silent Hill or Metal Gear, there's some evidence to suggest it might actually be a new Suikoden. As reported by Gematsu, Konami's schedule for this year's Tokyo Game Show reveals a slot where voice actor Yuki Kaji was invited to take the stage for the announcement of a new Konami title. Kaji has voiced characters in 3 Konami games, 2 of which are part of the long-dormant Suikoden franchise, with the other a Japanese-only game called Terror of the Stratus for PSP. While a new Suikoden is great news for Suikoden fans, many others, including myself, are hoping for a new Silent Hill title. Back in May, images of an alleged new Silent Hill game appeared on Twitter before being taken down, leading many to believe that they were legitimate. Back in October of 2021, Konami released a report the company was working on games in the Metal Gear, Castlevania, and Silent Hill series. The report reaffirms multiple Silent Hill games are in the works, and following the news that Konami was working with Polish studio Bluebird Team, there's been some speculation that the team behind Layers of Fear and The Medium might be handling one of them. Konami is also planning on remasters of the original Metal Gear Solid games for new consoles handled by Singaporean studio Virtuos. Considering Kaji is the guest speaker for the announcement, a new Suikoden seems like the safest bet. But with all the rumblings we've heard about Silent Hill, that's also possible. A new Metal Gear Solid, on the other hand, seems more like a question mark than an exclamation point. Series creator Hideo Kojima was working on Silent Hills, a Silent Hill reboot, which got the infamous playable teaser, PT, which has since been scrubbed from existence following Kojima's departure from the company. I really hope we get a Silent Hill title. Konami, you better not disappoint me. Don't make me come to Tokyo. In any case, we'll have to wait till Tokyo Game Show takes place from September 15th till the 18th. But Konami, I'm watching you. Sony announced today that the prices for both editions of PlayStation 5 will increase in almost every major region except the United States, and many are wondering why. As mentioned in the recent PlayStation blog post, Europe, the UK, the Middle East, Africa, Asia, Latin America, and Canada will all see price increases for both editions of the PlayStation 5. Meanwhile, in the United States, we're being spared for now. As mentioned in the blog post by Sony's president and CEO Jim Ryan, the global economic environment is a challenge that many of you around the world are no doubt experiencing. We're seeing high global inflation rates as well as adverse currency trends impacting consumers and creating pressure on many industries. As to why the United States wasn't hit with a price hike, many have taken to social media to share both their theories and overall frustrations with the company's move. Some have argued the United States avoided the price hike due to being, quote, the one area where they see Xbox as a serious threat, with those affected by the price hike demanding Sony offer digital goods like PlayStation Plus subscriptions to justify the price increase. While Sony has offered a solid explanation for the price increase in certain regions, there is a reason why the United States was spared. According to the New York Times, the strength of the dollar is the highest it's been in over 2 decades, devaluing currencies in other major markets. The dollar is considered to be the most reliable currency in the world, and because of inflation due to the pandemic, its value has soared more than 10% this year. To paint a picture, the euro is now worth less than a dollar for the first time in 20 years. Now, a very, very strong dollar is obviously a mixed blessing for different countries and companies, causing destabilization in other major regions' markets. And in this case, it's more than just destabilization. It puts companies like Sony in a tough situation, either be anti-consumer or possibly suffer the effects of inflation. And it's not just the markets. The war in Ukraine has also impacted European supply of natural gas and oil, as the region is seeing energy prices, groceries, and utility bills skyrocket. And I know what you're going to say. This is meant to be a gaming-centered outlet, but the truth of the matter is everything is connected. All of these global occurrences trickle down to you, the gamer. And that's why I want to know, what do you think of all this? Comment and let's discuss.
It's been 2 decades since the iconic launch of Mafia catapulted the series into cult classic territory. Now the developers who worked on the Mafia Definitive Edition say that they are making a brand new Mafia project. In an interview on the official website commemorating Mafia's 20th anniversary, Hangar 13 shared stories of Mafia's early years when it was originally Illusion Softworks. The piece dives deep into the developers' biggest lessons, most impactful updates, and favorite Mafia protagonists. However, it wasn't until the very end that General Manager Roman Hvaldik was happy to confirm an all-new Mafia project is in the works. Roman confirmed that though the project is a few years away with no details to share now, fans can look forward to new stories and a return to the beloved franchise. Moving on, a leak for a potential logo for Xbox Game Pass may have revealed a new Friends and Family plan for subscribers. As reported by The Verge, Twitter account Aggiornamento Lumia, who previously leaked confirmed details like Halo Infinite's campaign release date, shared an image that implies Microsoft may soon announce a new subscription tier to Xbox Game Pass. Back in March of this year, a report on Windows Central detailed a family plan was in the works for Xbox Game Pass, with higher tiers allowing up to 5 players to access Game Pass's full library so long as they reside in the same country as the primary account holder. Currently, Microsoft is conducting an Xbox Insider test in Colombia and Ireland that allows users to share Xbox Game Pass Ultimate benefits with up to 4 people in the country they reside, with no restrictions on sharing with family members or friends. Though we don't have a price on the new Friends and Family tier for Xbox Game Pass, the real question is, does anybody want to add me to their plan? No? Okay.
Naughty Dog announced new accessibility features for The Last of Us Part 1 that will allow players to feel dialogue in the game. In a PlayStation blog post, game director Matthew Gallant discussed Naughty Dog's remaster with updated visuals, enhanced features, and a list of accessibility choices. Gallant offers a glimpse of the in-game dialogue, leveraging the controller's vibration and haptic feedback to emphasize dialogue delivery in conjunction with subtitles. Gallant hopes that this feature will allow deaf players to, quote, feel the way a line is delivered, can feel the emphasis, along with the subtitles to give some sense of how the line is delivered. The full list of accessibility features includes plenty of options like navigation assistance, enhanced listen mode, combat vibration cues, and various combat presets for the vision, hearing, and motor impaired. The Last of Us Part 1 comes out next week, September 2nd, and for the full list of options, be sure to check out our article on the site. Moving on, early this morning, a report that has since been retracted confused the heck out of all media when it claimed Amazon would make an offer to buy Electronic Arts today. The original version from content partner USA Today's For the Win ran a story that claimed Amazon was planning to make an offer to buy the publishing giant EA today. CNBC anchor David Faber would go on air to dispute the report, saying that, quote, I have talked to some people who would actually know if there was something going on, and they say there's nothing going on. It's not going to happen today. So not today. The original report has been updated to say that the story did not meet USA Today's, quote, editorial standards regarding the use of unnamed and unvetted sources. The report's author, journalist Kirk McKeand, addresses the controversy on Twitter, saying, quote, if you get something wrong in games journalism, it's a bit like when you work behind a bar and you drop a pint glass and everyone cheers. Except instead of cheering, they chuck more pint glasses at you. Shares for EA surged earlier, climbing 50% following the USA Today report, but have since lowered at this time. In early August, EA CEO Andrew Wilson did mention the company would be open to the possibility of being acquired, but where that may lead has yet to be determined.
The free-to-play brawler MultiVersus already has a stacked roster, pulled from a wide variety of Warner Brothers and DC properties. But a recent trademark filing could indicate exactly how weird this game is willing to get. VGC spotted a filing with the European Union Intellectual Property Office allowing for the use of Big Chungus and his image across video games, including video and computer game programs, as well as in motion pictures. If you're out of the loop, Big Chungus is a meme that originated in a 1941 Bugs Bunny cartoon wherein Bugs inflated himself to mimic Elmer Fudd's rotund proportions. The actual name Big Chungus is a credit to video game critic, podcaster, and wrestler Stephanie Sterling, who coined the term in 2018. Amazingly, this wouldn't be the first video game appearance for Big Chungus, who has been added to the mobile game Looney Tunes World of Mayhem last year. So it's not unprecedented to have WB lean into internet weirdness, and considering the popularity of MultiVersus, the addition of Big Chungus either as a standalone character or a cosmetic skin for Bugs Bunny, we wouldn't be surprised if there was soon a Chungus among us. So we've gotten Ultra Instinct Shaggy. Big Chungus seems to be waiting in the wings, so what bizarre meme versions of MultiVersus characters do you want to see next? Moving on, the next FIFA game has seemingly leaked a month ahead of its official release date. The entire game was briefly playable, and it may even have revealed some real-life kits that hadn't yet been shown to the public. FIFA 23 doesn't release until September 27th, but a number of players were able to load and play the game, with Twitch user Mexico07Dan1 streaming FIFA 23 before his account was swiftly banned, according to a report from Eurogamer. However, several gameplay clips of the upcoming game remain online. According to some players, a preload that was sent to those who pre-ordered the game was accidentally made live, allowing Ultimate Edition players to launch and play the upcoming FIFA 23 game. Additionally, the EA Play trial may have gone live early, allowing others to access the game too. Along with the leak came the reveal of several player stats and outfit kits that were most likely supposed to remain a secret until the game is officially released. Of course, this isn't the only mistake involving FIFA 23 in recent weeks, after the game was accidentally given a 99.98% discount when FIFA 23 Ultimate Edition was listed for a pre-order on the Indian Epic Games Store. EA responded by honoring the ridiculously heavy discount for those who purchased it.
All of this makes for a very interesting send-off for EA's final partnership with the FIFA brand name after EA opted not to pay an enormous licensing fee to continue its partnership with FIFA. Instead, the franchise will begin anew as EA Sports FC.
It's time to take a quick break. When we come back, the Warner Brothers may have found their DC equivalent of Kevin Feige, and we discuss why the Resident Evil Netflix series was canceled. See you in a bit. Welcome back! It's almost been 5 years since Star Wars The Last Jedi was released, and director Rian Johnson says he's more proud than ever of it. But before that, unsurprisingly, the Resident Evil Netflix series has been officially canceled. Let's find out some more details on this.
Now, coming as a complete shock to absolutely no one, Netflix has canceled its take on the Resident Evil franchise. Now, even my man Silence Lance Riddick couldn't save the series from getting the axe after one season. Now, while the Capcom Survival Horror Show debuted in the contrived top 10 Netflix ranking, the series fell off quicker than Ethan Winter's hand. Now, the series follows two timelines, one being the new Raccoon City storyline with Albert Wesker and his two daughters, and 14 years later when the T-Virus turns the Earth into some sort of a Mad Max with zombies type sandpit. Now, the Netflix series, in my opinion, suffered from poor dialogue, weird casting, and a lack of framing each character to make you actually care about their development throughout the storyline. Now, the only saving grace was, in fact, Lance Riddick's performance, which sadly wasn't enough to save the series from cancellation, let alone warrant a binge watch.
More breadsticks.
Looks like you still have a few left.
This is my unlimited basket. They need their unlimited baskets.
I'm sorry, sir. It's one per table.
But that's a limit.
Dad, it's no big deal.
It is a big deal because it's not unlimited.
Well, sadly for you, Wesker, but fortunately for us fans, no more breadsticks for you. Now, the show was stale and honestly didn't do a great job of adapting the source material. The Netflix series didn't follow any storyline from the video games, opting to tell an original story based on Wesker's daughters created specifically for the streaming series. Now, while the 2010 movie Resident Evil Afterlife was a bit painful to watch, it was a more accurate representation of the RE franchise, as it had Chris and Claire Redfield taking on a more video game accurate Wesker. Now, while I don't mind Lance Riddick's depiction of Wesker, I find it quite odd the show made him a family guy. Now, we saw a softer side of Wesker, which is honestly something I never thought I'd ever say, unless we are, of course, talking about the soft entrails of Wesker after Chris took him out in RE5. That's exactly where the Netflix series should end up, in the fiery pits of the streaming service. I'm sorry, I'm just telling it like it is right now, but I want to know what your thoughts are on Netflix's Resident Evil series. Did you like it, hate it? What do you think they got right? Now, honestly, I gotta admit this, the zombies and some of the iconic infected creatures were done pretty well. Now, let me know what you think down below. Right now, in other news, the Twisted Metal live action series has wrapped production, which means we'll be seeing Sweet Tooth throwing napalm cones very soon. Now, the Peacock series apparently wrapped with the cast and crew celebrating with ice cream handed out from the back of Sweet Tooth's truck. I personally wouldn't trust the lick of that stuff coming from that clown. Anyway, showrunner Michael Jonathan Smith posted this sweet ice sculpture, letting fans know season 1 is in the bag. Now, no word just yet on when it will release, but Will Arnett, Neve Campbell, and Captain America himself, Anthony Mackie, all star in the Twisted Metal series, kicking into overdrive sometime soon. Director Rian Johnson just can't get enough of his Star Wars legacy, with him speaking on The Last Jedi on its 5th anniversary. Now, during an interview with Empire Magazine, Johnson said, quote, "I'm even more proud of it 5 years on. When I was up at bat, I really swung at the ball." This man's using a baseball analogy for Star Wars. Anyway, The Last Jedi was the follow-up to The Force Awakens, which continued the story of Rey, Poe, and Finn, and wasn't afraid to take the story in unexpected directions. Now, going further in depth about his take on the Star Wars mythology, Johnson said, quote, "The ultimate intent was not to strip away. The intent was to get to the basic, fundamental power of myth. And ultimately, I hope the film is an affirmation of the power of the myth of Star Wars in our lives." Now, in The Last Jedi, we see Luke Skywalker's return and ultimate sacrifice play out, which turns him into a symbol of hope for the resistance forces. Now, I want to know, what do y'all think about the movie? What did y'all think about it 5 years later? Now, let us know in the comments down below. All right, now in other news, Daniel Craig apparently forgot his accent just before filming Glass Onion. Now, Glass Onion is the sequel to Knives Out, set to premiere on Netflix in December. While speaking with Empire, Craig said, quote, "I went away to work with an accent coach for 3 or 4 months before we started shooting. I'd forgotten the accent and I didn't want to do a pastiche. I wanted to make it as grounded and as anchored in reality as possible." Well, that's good, and honestly, it's no surprise he might have forgotten how to do the accent. When you're in high demand as an actor, sometimes a little refresher course is all you need to hop back into the role. All right, so you're probably wondering who Warner Bros. Discovery is eyeing as the person to take the DCEU to the next level, pseudo-emulating what Kevin Feige has done for the MCU. Well, it appears to be none other than the executive producer of the It films, the Lego Movie, and Godzilla King of Monsters, Dan Lin. Now, according to The Hollywood Reporter, Lin is in talks to be the company's new DC chief, which would give him full reign to play in both film and television. Now, he would report directly to the Thanos of WB Discovery, David Zaslav, so I don't know, I guess that makes him what, Ebony Maw or Proxima Midnight? Oh, snap.
You should have gone for the head.
Yes, the entire internet seems to be going for the head in David Zaslav. Anyway, Dan Lin stepping into this role isn't without its hurdles, unfortunately. Now, he's currently attached to several Disney projects, including a live-action Lilo and Stitch. Now, Ohana may mean family, but Uwu Taku Tiki no Go means conflict of interest in my made-up language that I literally just made up. Anyways, according to Variety, no offer has been made as of yet, but if there is one to come, the projects he's attached to would have to be resolved, meaning he either detaches himself from them amicably or he doubles down and finishes them before WB Discovery gets way too antsy and moves on to the next candidate. Although this isn't an easy role to fill, so we'll have to wait and see how it all pans out. Now, in other news, the Fantastic Four movie might have just found its new director in Matt Shakman. After filmmaker John Watts left the project earlier this year, Marvel's been looking for a suitable fit to step into the role to helm the upcoming superhero flick. Now, Shakman's no stranger to the MCU as he was responsible for the Emmy-winning Disney Plus series WandaVision. Now, you may also know him from his work on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Game of Thrones. Now, Fantastic Four is set to kick off the MCU's Phase 6 in 2024. In the wake of a bunch of canceled animated shows, HBO Max is showing some favor to a special mallet-wielding, pigtailed deviant named Harley Quinn. Now, the animated series has been renewed for a 4th season, with the official Twitter handle tweeting this post, making fans of Harley Quinn oh so happy. Now, it's no surprise, honestly, as the animated series brings some much needed levity to the Batman universe, giving us a much more comedic glimpse of Gotham's finest. Now, Harley Quinn is currently in its 3rd season, so you should definitely check it out, before HBO Max changes its minds and throws the series into the wastepan with all the other animated offerings. I'm just kidding. The show's way too good to get rid of. Now, in other news, oh bother, I really gotta talk about this movie here. Okay. The official trailer for this guy, Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, is out, and we here at IGN got our hands on it first. Now, the silly old bear is in a 100-acre wood, causing all kinds of chaos to a bunch of women in the woods, while Christopher Robin tries to calm him and Piglet down from the honey-drenched ledge they find themselves on. Now, from the bad acting to the film quality, the movie just really evokes some serious B-movie energy.
We used to be friends. Why are you doing this, please?
You know what? I'm here for it. Anyone that knows me knows that I'll be posting countless videos on my personal YouTube channel mocking the film, all while wearing the exact same mask and doing the voice. Yes. It's a shameless self-promotion, I know, but who cares? This is my freaking show. A movie is coming out based on a character I do a very good impression of, and the director of the film decided to purchase a consumer-grade mask anyone can buy. You can go out and buy it right now. So you know what? I'm gonna take advantage of it and earn me some sweet honey. I mean money. I'm earning money. Now, no release date just yet for Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, but you already know I will be the first to know.
The 2022 LCS Summer Playoffs are in full swing with an incredible performance from Cloud9 this past weekend. Cloud9 surprised everyone with a 3-1 win over Evil Geniuses that saw C9's Blabber securing key objectives in the early game, with Fudge carrying the team in the second. C9 would have swept with a 3-0, but EG was able to bounce back late in round 3 for the win. It was a short-lived win as Game 4 saw both teams giving it their all before C9 closed out the game, advancing to the upper bracket final against the infamous 100 Thieves. EG will face TSM in the lower bracket quarterfinals. And speaking of League of Legends, the iconic Summoners Cup is a gorgeous prize for any esports athlete. But with the developer partnering with Tiffany & Company for its 2022 upgrade, the World Championship Cup has become the most sought-after trophy ever. The new design with Tiffany & Company will see the Summoners Cup endowed with sterling silver, stainless steel, brass, and wood weighing about 44 pounds. In a newly released making of the Summoners Cup video, fans got to see the craftsmanship gone into every detail of this stunning prize trophy. The new trophy will have the former world champions' names engraved with timeless Tiffany & Company jewelry pieces that would make just about anybody jealous.
I'm Stella Chung, and that was your weekly fix. We'll be back here next Saturday with more of the biggest gaming and entertainment news of the week. See you then.